me sitting in this chair. A long time ago. I, for one, know that I would not be standing on this stage in this place at this moment if I had not been pushed. You see, just a few weeks ago, I was speaking to a small group of people. And some of you who know me know I have a breathing challenge that I'm going through. If my breathing becomes I can struggle with my breathing, even during normal activities. So at this moment, I was talking to these ladies, and my breathing started, and I couldn't breathe, and I couldn't get to the end of the sentence. It was a challenge, and it was just a couple of minutes. So after that experience, I said, Lord, if I can't even talk to these few women, how in the world will I be able to get on the stage at Black Women's Business Expo and encourage anybody? So I decided, I didn't discuss it, I didn't talk it over, but I made the decision that I wouldn't speak today. I said, Lord, I really don't need a stage to encourage women. I encourage women in the bathroom. I encourage women when I'm shopping. And everybody knows that I'm going to walk up to you and say something that can inspire you. So I don't need the platform. I just need to be here. But you know what? God reminded me that He will give you every single thing you need in every single situation that you face. So I'm standing before you this morning to share with you. See, I scrapped my original presentation because I didn't believe that I could get through it, that my breathing wouldn't get through it. But God said, you got something to share with those ladies this morning, so you get on that stage and you give them what you got. Because I believe that if you chose to be at the Black Women's Business Expo this morning, you came for a reason. Yeah. You came to get something, and you need to make a decision right now that you're not going to leave here without it. Can I hear it? So I don't know if you came because you're a new business and you need some direction on where to go now. I don't know if you came because you're a seasoned business owner and you've been going through it and going through it and going through it, and you need that thing to push you to the next level. I don't know if you're that person who that business, that dream is still in your back. You've been thinking about it. You know you're supposed to write that book because it's just been coming to you, but you keep coming up with reasons why not now. It's not the time, right? So you need something to push that dream right out your belly into existence. Because I believe that if you have a made-up mind, you decide nothing is going to stop you, you will be able to achieve your dreams. I also believe that if you put quitting on the table, if you make it even one little bit of an option, you will quit. I, for one, experienced that myself. I've been in my business for 20 years, but I went through an experience that it was just too hard. How many of you know that it's hard being an entrepreneur? It's hard to be in your dreams and keep going, even though it's looking all crazy, right? So I went through a period where I was just tired of it. It was just hard. You have money one month, you don't have it the next month, and if you're lucky and you're working things really well, you got 6 months out the year that you're looking really good, and then the other 6 months you're trying to figure it out. Right? So I was just tired of it. I was tired of the people that I was dealing with betraying you. I was tired of people stealing your idea and going do it. I was just tired. And I decided that I was going to quit. I had had enough of it, and I walked away from my dream. But you know what? I believe that when God gives you the dream, you can walk away from it, but it is not going to be. So during that experience, when I was outside of my dream, I didn't know it, but I was really inside of my dream. Because He was teaching me, and He was growing me, and He was preparing me to be where I am today, standing in front of all of right? When things are not happening, we feel like this is the worst possible thing that could happen at this moment. And it's that thing that makes you say, it's time for me to quit. This thing is too big, I don't want to go any further, and that's when you put quitting on the table. But I'm here to tell you, but that thing that you think is designed to make you quit, is that thing that will push you to your destiny if you don't quit. Take quitting off the table. Say, I'm doing it no matter what it looks like. Not long ago, well, several years ago, I worked at a major technology company. At this company, it was a big company in the area. People wanted to work there. And it was a good job, right? On my way to work one morning, just a normal work day, I was driving to work, and I heard a voice. Now, it wasn't a loud voice in the car, but it was deep in my spirit. And it said, you will own your own business. You see, that was foreign to me. I grew up in Jackson, Mississippi, in a little small area, being raised by an amazing single mother. Y'all, my mother is here with us today. She's 85 years old. Now, at the time that I grew up, we didn't hear people talk about dreaming. We didn't hear people saying, I'm dreaming of owning my own business. I'm dreaming of writing a book. That was not in our language. That was not in the environment that we were part of. So when I heard that voice, I heard it. It was clear, but I didn't really know what it meant until a few weeks later, when I arrived at work and the National Guard was there. You see, my boss lived in Atlanta. She called me on the phone, and she said, Melissa, I'm calling to inform you that your position has been eliminated, and your services are no longer needed, and you need to leave the building immediately. When I hung up the phone, I turned to my door, and the National Guard was standing there. You see, their job was to make sure I only took what belonged to me. So as I packed my office, I had been there 10 plus years. So you can accumulate a lot in the office in 10 years, right? As I packed, they stood there in silence. I stood in silence, but inside, I was about to explode. But what I knew that I couldn't let it show right then, right? So I held it in. I'm not even sure I was breathing as I packed, and they just stood there. I put my things on the cart, and I began to roll it out the door. They followed behind me. Now, I don't really remember how far the parking lot was from where I was. What I do know is once I got to the parking lot, got the things in the car, and I couldn't tell you what happened to the guards. I really don't know. But what I know is when I sat in that seat, I began to breathe. And every single emotion that I had held inside when I was in that building came bursting through. The tears, the screams, the fear of what's next, the panic. Have you ever had a moment that put you through so much that every single emotion that you have inside erupted in you, and it all burst out in that car? You see, that job was it. That was my plan. I didn't have another backup plan. That job paid for my education because they gave us an education bonus, right? That job was my future because it provided profit sharing. That job was mine now because it was helping me take care of my children and raise my family. It was all gone in a matter of minutes. So all of those emotions, that devastation, that feeling that I just want to throw up, came to me at that moment. But then, in the midst of that moment, my mind went back to that morning. Y'all remember the morning a couple of weeks ago when God spoke to me and said, you will own your own business. In the midst of all of those emotions, I remember at that moment, you see, that was the moment that my dream was born. I've been building my business for over 20 years, but I'm here to tell you, if I had not been pushed into that situation, I I never would have started with you. But sometimes we have to be pushed to get us to where we need to be. So I want you to make up your mind that there is no stopping you. You see, when I left and I came back, I was hungry for my business. I made a decision out loud, comfortable, telling everybody who will listen that I'm not quitting. I'm not leaving. You're not going to make it so rough on me that I stop. I'm going to keep going because I believe that when I made up my mind to do that, I will get to my destiny. And God will give me every single thing that I need to get there. So whatever your reason that you purchased your ticket, that you decided to showcase your business, you make sure you get it. You do not leave here. You know, that sister that's sitting right next to you, she may have that thing that you need to just push you. Somebody standing on this stage may say that one little thing that you needed to hear to make you walk out this door and be unstoppable. You decide, though. It's a decision. It's the power of a made-up mind. You make up your mind that you're going to keep going, and every other option is off the table. So I want you to do something right here with me. I want all of you to stand. We're going to take a deep breath because I need one. I don't know if y'all need one. Take a deep breath. I want you to envision yourself in a crowded room, much like we have right now. And if you're standing in the front of the room, and everybody in the room is there for one reason, and that's to celebrate you. I want you to see it. I want you to feel it. Life is good. You're where you want to be spiritually. You're looking just like you wanted to look. You've reached all those goals that you set. That dream that you had in your heart that you hold close to you, that you don't want to tell people about, it is happening. It is happening in this moment. Take another breath. In this moment, there are smiling faces walking up to you. And they're telling you how what you said, what you did, when you showed up, impacted their life. And they're thanking you for inspiring them. They're telling you how proud of you they are. And you're in the moment. You look at those faces. Who's coming up to you? Who's saying, I'm proud of you? Who's saying, congratulations, you did it? Remember those faces. Now take a deep breath. And when you blow it out, you blow it out hard, you release. And you release every single limiting belief that's been holding you down. Every excuse that you give yourself for not giving your all, you release it right now. All the fear that you have in your heart that keeps you from going for your dream, you release it right now. This is where you release it. You release the shame of how you grew up. You know, we still carry shame about how we grew up. You release all of that. In this moment, you've made the decision that all of those doubts, all of that shame, all of that limiting belief, shake it out. And then I want you to